Here to weigh in is Mike Davis, Article 3 project founder, along with Saul Weisenberg, former deputy independent counsel and Fox News contributor. Saul, now tell me about this judge. Now, she was appointed by Trump during his first term, and am I to understand that she worked for Ken Starr? And is that right?
Yes. Full
so
disclosure,
are you responsible for this judge,
colleague.
Saul? Go ahead.
She's a full disclosure. She's a former colleague and she's a friend. The problem with her order isn't that she's a quote local judge. She's clothed with Article 3 power. The problem is her opinion is wrong. Laura, there's Supreme Court precedent going back almost 200 years that says under a predecessor statute to this statute that the president is using, the president makes the factual determination about whether the predicate has been set to send in the militia. He does not get to be second-guessed by anybody else. That's really what's important here, is that nobody gets to come in and say, we think the president got it wrong. The solution, if somebody has a problem with it, is a political solution in Congress. But I believe her opinion is wrong, fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, and they've already gone to the Ninth Circuit, the Trump DOJ, and is appealing that temporary restraining order on the Guard deployment, Mike. Do you believe that will be successful at the Ninth Circuit?
I don't know if it will be successful at the Ninth Circuit because it's full of a lot of Democrat judges.
But there's some good judges on the Ninth Circuit as well.
Trump transformed the Ninth Circuit in his first term, so it's not as bad.
I'm hopeful, more hopeful than you. But
it's not as bad as it once was. But I would say this, I think the Supreme Court on the emergency docket will certainly stay this order because it is clearly in violation of Article 2 of the Constitution, along with federal statute. The president has the power and the duty to protect federal law enforcement when they're under attack and the locals are refusing to help.
Yeah, so the president has the constitutional authority, has enormous plenary discretion in matters of national security. Right? And this dates back, as Saul said, 200 years. So for a judge to come in, I was stunned by this order, actually. I read this, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Who's writing her opinions? She couldn't have written this opinion. She has to be smarter than this. But saying that a judge can make those intricate determinations of what is and what is not a threat to our society in Portland, that's not what a judge's role is.
Yeah, she took off her judicial robe and put on her commander-in-chief suit when she made that ruling, and that's just inappropriate for her to do that. That's not her job. It's the president's job to protect our country, not a local judge.
Saul, on this issue of Chicago and the deployment of ICE officials and the willful, wanton impeding of the operation of ICE that we're seeing on the ground, and then now a mayor saying he's going to set up no-go zones, ICE-free zones where the feds can't go in, that obviously is going to be challenged in federal court as well. Where will that challenge end up?
Well, let me put it to you this way. The state and local governments are under no obligation, general obligation, to assist the federal government. But I can guarantee you they can't impede and obstruct the federal government when they are enforcing federal law. There's this little thing called the Supremacy Clause that we fought a civil war about, and so I think they're going to be very embarrassed.
And Mike, there's this idea that
Chicago and Illinois, that is.
Yeah, but Trump is creating the atmosphere for a civil war, and it's a redo of the Civil War. That's what Brandon Johnson said today.
That's insane. He ran on the fact he's going to secure our border and expel illegal aliens, particularly these terrorists. And these Democrat politicians are getting in his way illegally because they want more power.
So the Democrats are on the states' right side now. Suddenly, they love the 10th Amendment. I love this. Mike and Saul, both of you, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.